Hi, my name is Peyton Atkins. Today I'm going to be informing you about the late great Stevie Ray Vaughan. By the end of my speech, you should be able to understand the life and the legacy Stevie Ray Vaughan left behind and how his music affects and still inspires people today. How Stevie grew up. Stevie was a younger brother in a family of four. It was him, his older brother, Jimmy, and his parents, Jimmy Lee and Martha Jean Vaughan. His father was an asbestos worker, so they'd move town to town, not getting much time to settle down. They eventually settled down in Dallas when Stevie was 8. Jimmy Vaughan started playing guitar at a young age, and just like any little brother would, he followed in his footsteps. They never received a musical education. They would just listen to records by musicians like B.B. King, Albert King, Otis Rush, and Buddy Guy. Stevie started playing in blues concerts and rock and roll concerts at age 12. Jimmy Vaughan, his older brother and his mentor, was kicked out of the house, leaving Stevie on his own. His parents tried to stop him from playing guitar because he was flunking out of school, spending long nights playing blues music in clubs, just to come home, sleep a few hours, and then spend time in high school. This made him never look up to high school, and he eventually ended up flunking out. He soon moved to Austin, Texas to pursue his career in music. Stevie's performing years, relationships, and habits. In his early years performing in Austin, Texas, were studying years, you could say. He was part of many bands having many different roles, but never seeming to get anywhere. Stevie lived in a house full of musicians at this time. He developed much of his competitive skill, his musical skill, but he also developed bad habits with drugs and alcohol. In 1977, things were coming together, and he put a band together called Triple Threat. 2 years later, he spontaneously decided to get married to a woman named Lenny. Stevie had a "it's my way or the highway" mindset. This caused much of his early band to fall apart, Triple Threat, leaving only him and Chris Layton, the drummer. The band was renamed to Double Trouble, and they gained a new member named Tommy Shannon, their bassist. This is how the band would come to be known in the future. 3 years later, in 1982, Double Trouble played the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland, the first unsigned band to play in the festival, receiving some love but also receiving boos. And this to the band did not sound good. They said 2 or 3 boos could have sounded like 200 or 300 to them. But one member of the audience loved the sound of the music, David Bowie. David Bowie asked him to play guitar on his album Let's Dance, being one of David Bowie's most successful albums. David asked Stevie if he wanted to play for his tour band at the time. That would have been a huge opportunity, but Stevie turned it down to pursue his dreams with Double Trouble. In 1982, Double Trouble released Texas Flood, selling over 500,000 copies. Stevie Ray Vaughan was finally finding success. By the mid-'80s, Double Trouble were at the height of their popularity. The band was overscheduled. Stevie's alcohol and cocaine addictions were taking toll. His wife left him, and his father died. Stevie was given a month to live and was prepared to die after his battle with drug and alcohol. Defying the odds, Stevie reached sobriety and found his will to live again. Stevie was better than ever, playing his music with his band, even performing at the presidential inauguration in 1989. How Stevie's life came to an end and the legacy he left behind. The evening of August 27th, 1990, Double Trouble played in a concert in the Alpine Valley Music Festival in Wisconsin. Along the sides of huge names like Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, Robert Cray, and even Stevie's older brother, Jimmy. After the show, 4 helicopters were reserved to take the artist back to Chicago. Stevie, Jimmy, and Jimmy's wife Connie were supposed to ride in a helicopter together, but ended up not riding together. The helicopter started their departure around 1 a.m. into the foggy night. The helicopter Vaughn was in navigated poorly through the dense fog and collided with a ski slope. Everybody on board was instantly killed. As tragic and sad as this is, a man who overcame so much to lose his life this way, his life will still live on forever in the music he created, inspiring guitarists with his incredible blues licks and memorable vocals. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame April 18th, 2015.